Fala galerinha, beleza? Tudo bem com vocês? Bora pra nossa live aqui de domingo. Vamos começar mais um capítulo de Alan Wake, agora o ato 5. Vagnão conosco.
Calma aí, meu povo.
E é isso aí. Aqui o ato 4, Wagner, eu separei em 3 partes, sabe? Porque o ato 4 ele é muito grande, que é a parte do metrô, sabe? Aí eu finalizei agora, eu tinha finalizado agora há pouco. E aí comecei um novo, né? Aí eu separei o capítulo. Vou começar certinho.
Mais uma prova de merda.
Não, pior é o diretor do jogo fazer ele ser tipo um personagem secundário no jogo.
Quem que é o principal aí?
Basicamente é o Alan Wake e a Sarah, né?
A Saga seria aquela policial.
É a policial.
E ela tem alguma habilidade? Alguma coisa?
Sarah não, é Saga, né? Saga Anderson. Ela é uma detetive do FBI. Ela só pega caso assim sobrenatural, só caso que ninguém consegue, tá ligado? Caso bizarro.
Bizarro, ela sobrevive.
Aí ela fica sabendo que teve um assassinato lá em Cauldron Lake, ela vai investigar lá, começa a acontecer umas coisas bizarras. Aí ela acha uns pedaços de papel que é um roteiro, né, de uma história. E aí ela vê que ela faz parte do roteiro.
E aí deixaram o Alan Wake, que é o personagem principal, de secundário,
Aí o Alan
pra
Wake
dar
tá.
foco
Aí
na
tipo assim.
maluco.
Aí tipo tem uma seita, que a seita parece que ela. A seita ela tá fazendo vários assassinatos. E essa seita meio que idolatra o Alan Wake, tá ligado? Aí tinha alguma coisa relacionada a ele. Só que pra eles o Alan Wake já sumiu durante muitos anos já, né?
Tá?
Aí do nada, tipo assim, só que o Alan Wake ele tá preso no mundo, no Dark Place, sei lá, desde o último jogo. Ele ficou preso. Ele tá preso mais de 10 anos. Então ele ficou preso lá e agora que ele conseguiu sair por causa da saga, por algum motivo. E aí quando ela tá lá, tipo, num lugar lá que tava todo. Tinha virado tipo um Pantanal lá. Aí daqui a pouco ela encontra o Alan Wake lá caído no chão. Aí é quando ela pergunta quem que é ele, que ele fala que ele é o Alan Wake, ela se assusta, tá ligado? Porque tipo, ela fala, meu, como que você é o Alan Wake? Você sumiu aí há mais de 10 anos já. Tá louco?
E coletável tem muito aí?
Puta merda, tem muito. Eu acho que eu não vou platinar esse jogo, porque ele tem muito coletável.
Ah, esse negócio de coletável nego tá me deixando cansado
Mas
ultimamente.
depois eu tenho todos os mapas do jogo com todos as localizações, mas eu vou só quando eu tiver com sem nada pra fazer mesmo, cara. É que eu não vou mexer com isso não. Eu tenho que ir lá no prédio onde ele morava.
Parliament Tower, our home in New York. Was I really this close to being home? Going up to our apartment? Would I be home? Or was this just an echo of the real thing? Even then, the murder site had brought me one step closer to escape.
Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Da hora é você ver os mundos do Alan Wake se conectar com o mundo de Control, mano. É muito da hora.
Então, mesmo, né?
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
Pelo mesmo universo, praticamente. Né?
Alice! Alice!
Você já viu isso? No Control, a DLC?
This is a photo of Scratch. How did Alice get this? Was he stalking her? This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books. This symbol wasn't here before. Part 1. What was Alice working on?
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me.
Peraí, vai.
Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. It brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. Easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do too sometimes.
Só que dessa vez no 2, no Alan Wake 2, eles usaram muito imagem de pessoas reais no jogo,
6 years ago,
em vez de fazer CGI.
I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking.
Já é uma mudança.
Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster. He always did have anger in him.
Eles têm baixo dano, baixo resistência contra a corte.
Motion sensors and flashes.
Tem um sapão aqui, eu tava procurando as fraquezas. Tem que levitar ele pela linha e mandar
Turn it into art.
um ataque de corte na barriga desse.
My nightmares caught on film.
Aí fica um dano bom, hein?
And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew. I'm calling this exhibit The Dark Place.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
The Dark Place, arte de Alice Wake.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place. To look for a way out. The story had brought me here, brought me nowhere. Looked me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing.
Let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan. For the past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place. It's like New York, but it's not New York. It can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger. Mr. Scratch? Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
Turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding, but your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people, making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Yes. Fiction coming in contact with the Dark Place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Mr. Wake. Alan. We've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
It's insane. And there's so much of it. Have you ever heard of the Cult of the Tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness. Possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
Cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
Eles estão trabalhando com
If the
Scratch.
cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something? Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
A scratch, aceite o clique.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker. Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa. Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. This is all I have. Be careful with it. Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the cult of the tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew a weapon.
O trailer, páginas do manuscrito.
Wake has more information. I need to keep questioning him. Wake just gave us a lot of information. But this clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult. Makes sense.
No.
No. Doesn't make sense.
Caramba, coisa chata.
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake. And the contents of this book are coming true. Why couldn't it have been a romance? And the contents of this book are coming true.
Nossa, quanto documento.
Passando dificuldade aí, Max?
Não, é que aqui você tem que. Você acha um monte de documento, né? E depois você tem que colocar no quadro. Que, lá no que fica no lugar mental. Aí você vai montando o roteiro, entendeu? Essa é a única parte do jogo que é um pouquinho chata, cara. Você tem que ficar montando a história do jogo pra poder prosseguir, sabe?
Acontece.
Presença escura.
Nope.
Nope.
Deixa eu fazer um pouco da missão principal.
E depois eu vou ter que ver as coisas. Que é muito complexo isso daqui. Não posso usar ainda.
It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.